In September 2020, the Holiday Farm fire burned 173,000 acres, including 25 miles of McKenzie River frontage.
So, but my wife and her mother were here, and so they woke up with, big bright skies early in the morning in the dark, and suddenly got the evacuate notice and got out of there. Of course, which we couldn't come up to see anything, so we had to just kind of hope and wait and see. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did, and we kind of figured, well, let's think the worst maybe happened, but hope for the best.
On May 21st, EWEB Commissioners joined other local representatives down the river to witness the extent of the damage and to visit EWEB restoration projects. The McKenzie is the sole source of drinking water for nearly 200,000 people in Eugene.
This river is our river. It's the source of our water. It's necessary for life.
It's so challenging to see the human impacts. I mean, having so many homes burned down and the livelihoods that were lost up here. I mean, these people are forever changed. Seeing the way that we can help the people who are choosing to stay here, how can we support them and just take that one little thing off of their plate to help is huge.
To protect the watershed and water quality, EWEB is helping landowners in the fire perimeter rebuild homes and septic systems farther back from the river. Building outside the riparian and flood hazard area reduces the risk of contaminants in the water and creates a space to replant native riparian buffers.
This was a place they called halfway because it was halfway between Eugene and the top of the McKenzie Pass. And people that came up the river in those days would stop in here and spend the night. And some of them would fish, and this is actually how my grandfather got started as a guide, because they had this lodge here and he would take them out in fishing boats. So he said when they didn't have the car available, he'd use the horse and wagon to pull his boat up the river. It's kind of hard to see him go away, but on the other side, they were here in a place where they probably shouldn't have been, currently because of being their proximity to the river, and they were so close to the river. Well, I think it's going to be required that everybody has to be responsible about how they rebuild.
Well, the helpful thing is Pure Water Partners really are concentrating on how to rebuild and be able to help that natural environment. This is not a governmental agency, although we love their work and we'll try to help find resources. This is an independent agency with people who are dedicated to rebuilding the river and wanting to help folks rebuild their land.
Folks need to realize that people are not trying to take things away from them. They just want to make the valley better as far as the watershed goes and help them to rebuild.
After the fire, an immediate priority was preventing ash and debris from washing into the river.
The team from Pure Water Partners has been doing erosion control, basically from the time the ground cooled.
It's also so uplifting to hear about the partnerships that immediately rejoined and came together to start helping this place come back. This is about saving our water and saving our watershed.
In addition to erosion control mechanisms, EWEB has also installed additional water quality monitoring stations to detect increased sediment loads, and EWEB and the Pure Water Partners are restoring floodplains and reforesting riparian habitats to mitigate flooding, erosion, and water quality impacts from the burned landscape. EWEB Commissioners approved a new fee to help pay for these important watershed protection measures.
The EWEB board has instituted a surcharge on ratepayers of water bills, and that'll be used for a whole host of things in terms of watershed protection, including additional erosion control in the coming years, and other efforts to make sure that our water quality remains as good as it can be.
In addition to just disaster control kind of stuff is really being able to invest in our drinking water and where it comes from. And I think it's a real opportunity. It's an opportunity to not only help like the physical environment, but also to make more connections with homeowners, landowners, to strengthen our Pure Water Partners program, and to kind of set the foundation for more collaboration with people who live here.
The watershed recovery fee will appear on water bills beginning in July 2021 and remain in place for 5 years. For most residential customers, the fee will be $3 per month.
Everybody in Eugene loves this landscape, right? Everybody loves this river and loves this landscape. And I think people found it heartbreaking, a sense of desolation last year with the wildfire. So the possibility that even if we have to spend some money, that we restore this, that we have this irreplaceable resource at a higher level that will serve everybody, and both human life and nature.
I guess we'll probably never quite see it in the same light as we did before with all the big trees, and but there are still a lot of live trees, and they will come back. Mother Nature will come back and take over this valley.
To learn more about watershed recovery efforts, please go to eweb.org/wildfire recovery.